Hello and welcome to Season of War. Today Ridge and I are here for an exciting game of Age of Sigmar, a matchup chosen by our premium members as they typically do, trying to vote in on our armies. I wanted to bring out my Lumineth, obviously with some of the new rules and units. I have a bunch of them on the table today, and they voted for you to play your Skaven today, so...
They always vote for the Skaven, love it.
Skaven are surprisingly popular, surprising to me at least, but it's an old army, right? They go way back, so lots of people have history with them.
Yeah, they're fun for sure, yeah.
But Ridge, we can jump right into things today. Do you want to take us through the mission in Realm?
Yeah, so we're playing in Aqshy, which is Fireball for...
Very, very fitting for this, this board, yeah.
Exactly, winter and everything. Yeah. It's definitely Aqshy with all the lava you can see. Yeah. Fireball spell, and the command point is +1 to run and charge, and everything is lava, apparently.
Yes, yeah. Well, we know, obviously, in Age of Sigmar, all the realms have the full gambit of biomes, so it is possible. We just make note of it because it's kind of funny.
We wanted to play one that we don't, we try to play ones that we haven't played a lot.
And mix it up.
Sometimes the same ones come up a lot, so we just want to, try to play more different realms. And the mission today is Total Conquest, so you've seen us play it before. I love this mission.
It's a good one.
Yeah, essentially you get one for each point. You get an extra point for having a leader on there, and then you actually get an extra point for taking over the objective.
Yep.
So a lot of the time, you don't really want to take the objective unless you know you're going to keep it. Because if you take it and then the person takes it off you, they're just getting that point as well. So it's interesting. It's in a lot of tournament packs, and I love it. It's a good one. Yeah,
it's a fun one. And then looking at army lists, I'll take you through mine real quick. So obviously playing Lumineth here. No tech list today. Wanted to get a lot more bodies on the table and try out a bunch of different units. So go through my list. I have the Overland Legion, which is the Cathlar, 2 units of 20 Wardens, a unit of 20 Sentinels, and a unit of 10 Sentinels. And then for additional heroes, I have the Lord Regent, who's my general and has the teleporting artifact from my subfaction. Mm-hmm. I have the Banner Blade, who is garrisoned in my tent here, which is operating as my terrain piece because it isn't available in North America quite yet.
Yep.
And then I also have the Lore Seeker currently deployed off the board that I'll have to put down before we choose who goes first.
Yep. And the 5 Blade Lords.
Yes. Yep. So I have the 5 Blade Lords then, and also 2 Ballista. So a good variety of some of the new stuff. Obviously excited to get that on the table and try it out.
And it looks great, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's all coming together. Lots of work on the army still to do. Otherwise, though, I have the Balewind Vortex and Hisheen Twinstones as endless spells. Mm-hmm. And I should have mentioned at the start, but I'm playing the subfaction of Alumnia. It's one of the new ones, probably my favorite subfaction in the army. Mm-hmm. We all know I love speed with my elves, so getting the pregame move and run and charge, I obviously am a huge fan of. So loving all that stuff. But then why don't you take us through your list?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm running something kind of similar to what I've ran in the past. So my general is the Bell. It has the Death Frenzy as a spell, and then Master Magic, so +1 to cast when I want in Unbind. And then I have a Claw Lord, actually, which is great with the Storm Vermin. I don't normally run him. He has Verminous Veiler as his trait. And then the Bombardier, who I just finished painting. So I usually take the Aurora Engineers, but the Bombardier just has the Doom Rocket, and he's just super, super cool. And then I have 2 units of 20 Clan Rats for Battle Line, and then the third Battle Line is the 40 Storm Vermin, and then I have 40 Plague Monks and 6 Storm Fiends.
Awesome.
So a lot of damage, a lot of bodies. Skaven.
Similar, a lot of similar tools in our armies. Obviously, this is a way newer book. Lumineth is a big toolbox, but playing pretty much just the core Venari Scenari stuff. Mm-hmm. A lot less tools than a techless build that has all the spell lores. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little more straightforward here, but I think it'll be a good test for both armies.
For sure, yeah, and I guess notable too. So I have a CP as well. And then I'm actually 1950 because I know we always talk about the Triumph thing, and it is huge for certain armies to be able to use the Triumph. And I think you were 1970, and I was at 1950, and I couldn't really think of anything else really that I needed. So playing for that Triumph
is huge.
It is massive. So we'll see if it comes up big.
And the Triumph you rolled.
Reroll hits.
Reroll hits. So pretty good one. Obviously, all of them have their uses.
Yeah, other than the 5 and 6, the saves isn't great in this, but same with the Seraphon.
The reroll hits will be great on your Storm Fiends if you don't get the more warp power off.
Exactly. Yeah.
If somehow your wizard dies with 30 shooting.
All the no line of sight shooting and fucking ballistas.
Yeah. And then just to go over our auxiliaries real quick, the 2 I chose. First one was Defender, so keep your units outside of my territory. Which is a pretty small territory in the corner. So your holes aren't anywhere close. So should be pretty good at taking this one. And the second one I chose was Seized Ground. So this is ending within 3 of a terrain piece, not in my territory. I'm going to choose this
Turn
one.
4.
Yeah, end of battle round 4. So hopefully I have units alive that can be within 3 of that. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yep. Well, interestingly enough, I took Seize Ground
Yeah,
on this
okay.
piece as well.
Oh, nice. So there'll be a good battle there.
Yeah. And and then I took Overwhelm. So
yeah.
killing a hero with my battle line, which normally isn't great for me, but those 40 Storm Vermin are battle line. So
Yes, sir.
if I can get them into a certain someone that I really want to kill, then that would be awesome.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see if you're able to do that.
Yeah.
And then before we get started, just to play a little game with you guys today, I would love to see your predictions on this match. If you throw them in the comments below, I'd love to see what you expect to happen in this game. And then after you make your prediction and watch the video, at the end, go back and reply to your own comment with like how far off you thought your prediction was. Just a fun little game thought we'd try out in the comments. So yeah, want to hear everybody's predictions and who you think's going to take this.
Yeah. The rats.
But now, ready to start the game, there are a few things that we have to do pre-game. Namely, I have to put down my Lore Seeker and then do my pre-game movements before a decision is made. Now, I outdropped you here, so I know what I'm going to do with my turn. So obviously, my pre-game moves and everything will blend right into my plans.
Yep. And seeing where the Blade Lords were, I had a good idea where he was going to be going down.
Okay, so after a little bit of kind of decision making, I'm going to put the Lore Seeker down here. And then I get to do 3 pre-game movements. So I'm going to do that right now real quickly. All right, so done my pre-game moves. Now, again, having the Blade Lords, Wardens over here, Lord Regent over here. Obviously, at this point, I'm going to be able, taking first turn, I don't think any surprise here. I am going to be able to jump on these 3 objectives and score 2 points each because of the heroes. So a good starting point. But that is all the pre-game stuff. So we'll jump right into turn 1, taking it here with Lumineth Realmlords going first. All right, so turn 1 for Lumineth here. Pretty effective turn. Again, using the sub-faction pre-game move to let me spread out, take these objectives, and get on them. I do, again, take these 3 objectives with a hero on each, so I'll score 6 points off the top. which is a great position to be in. And with the speed, I'm zoning out both of your null holes here.
That's huge.
Yes, it keeps your Storm Fiends back there. Now, the only thing they'll be able to shoot this turn is one guy will be in range of him potentially.
Yeah, we measured it.
So you might get a couple shots off at him, but he's -1 to hit natively. Kind of a risky play throwing him there, might throw him away, but it's better than letting you try to relocate. I'd rather keep you pinned in there.
100% better.
Yeah. So it's, just trying to hem you in. But obviously, setup right now, defensive, able to spread out, and feeling good. Love the sub-faction. But that's pretty much it for Lumineth turn 1, and we'll be jumping into the bottom of the round with Skaven going next.
Let's do it. So back here, pretty eventful turn. I wasn't able to move the Plague Monks, which sucked. Jordan rolled just 2d6 over their Bravery, which is 5.
Yeah.
So they just kind of stayed there. I tried to open up, bring the Storm Vermin in. He zoned out both Nahulls, as we knew, so I was able to get the one Storm Fiend in within 30 to shoot him. I rolled my 2d6 for the bell, and it was everything within 26 took 4 mortals.
Did a bunch of mortals.
Did a bunch of mortals there. But the big show of the day was Nahull movement. The Doom Rocket was in range, so clearly I just barely fit him in here, and upcharged it because obviously that's what I do. I'm a dumb Skaven player, so and then naturally rolled the 1, which I've done one other time before, and freshly painted man seemed to want to do 11 mortal wounds to himself, and
again, Skaven plans doing exactly as we would expect them to.
Just so many things I could have done to just not do that or not upcharge it.
You could have mitigated it. You could, you were saying reroll 1s, but you just got a little excited.
I just right away was like, okay, I'm rolling it. Doom Rocket. I just painted this guy. Boom. And it's kind of amazing that he did 11 wounds to himself. But so whatever. And then I did 2 wounds in the hero phase to this guy, and then I did D3, so I did 3 with here. So I used my Triumph to reroll hits, but either way.
Yep, so 5 wounds, and he's got sitting on 1 remaining now.
He's got 1 left, so if I get the turn, I can possibly Arcane Bolt him off.
For sure.
Would be amazing, but really hurts the Plague Monk's not moving, but that's...
That's
the spell.
Again, the spell it's so crippling against low bravery armies.
And this is even tough for me, because if I win it now, that spell is still on them.
Exactly,
so it's rough.
All right.
Rough
Priority.
go.
That's a 3.
And a 2.
All right, so there were some potential chances for me to give away the turn here. Namely, just great position. That spell's locking down your guys back there, but I mean I can cast the spell again. So I am going to take the turn here, mostly because again the Lord Regent sitting on just 1 wound. You could Arcane Bolt him off and then still relocate your Storm Fiends, and I just want to keep that from happening. Take back that objective and hem you into this zone. So that's the play that I'm going to go for. And
It's rough either way.
yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, yeah.
So obviously here, yeah, just feeling I can do some damage now, and we'll jump into Lumineth turn 2. All right, so Lumineth turn 2, and in hindsight, taking the turn is looking like a pretty bad decision. Now, obviously, still in a decent position, but gave you a good opportunity to actually get back in the game with how the turn played out.
Yep.
Big thing with taking the turn, it let Ridge move the Hishyan Twin Stones and put them just out of range to buff everything. Now, I knew that was going to happen, but I get to basically do 2 rerolls for like Unbinds, Dispels, and because one from the terrain piece, and then I can use an Aether Quartz for one. So I thought I'm going to have 2 chances to unbind these Twin Stones and then 2 chances to cast it again.
Yeah.
Thought that was pretty reliable, but obviously here, seeing the downside of not having tech lists where you don't have that like guaranteed reliability.
Yeah.
A reroll's pretty good, but sometimes it doesn't go your way like here today.
Especially on a 7. Like
Yeah.
that's a 7, so you need to unbind with an 8. So it's not hard, easy to cast an 8.
So obviously we saw turn 1, dominant magic phase, got everything I needed. Here was pretty much the exact opposite. My Cathar failed Protection of Hish,
And
failed Darkness of the Soul.
Makes me very happy, boy.
Yeah, obviously the Twin Stones are what make those spells reliable.
Yeah.
So outside of having tech list for +1 or being in Zytrack for +1, I'm so reliant on those Twin Stones for the reliability in my magic phase.
Yep.
So really big not getting it here, really painful. Really, having played this list now for 2 turns, I really feel like I potentially should have castled a little bit more, not tried to push that side, and just then with my heroes, I would have been ahead 1 point if I just sat on these all
Pretty
game.
much out of reach. Yeah, exactly. Now there's a bit of a shot with the double back.
Yeah.
A few other things if they can happen. I was really hoping those 8 clan rats were going to finish them off before they ran away.
Yeah, but
couldn't get a
Lord
wound
Regent,
through.
I was relying on him because he actually gets me 3 points for that objective, which is big.
Yeah.
And I store 2 for each of that, so that's 7 for the round. So
Yeah, it's massive.
I did score big here, and I really obviously overextended, but trying to keep you from the objectives, and you obviously have to come deal with me. You can't send the Plague Marks there without leaving open your battlefields.
There's obviously a huge play here. It's all reliant on him dying in the hero phase.
Yep, because then you teleport.
Exactly.
Yeah, so good chance you can do that.
I have 2 ways to do it, and if one of those doesn't work, then I'm in trouble. But if I get just one of those...
Skaven have a chance, and you never want to give Skaven a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. So we'll be jumping into bottom of round 2 with Skaven turn coming up.
Let's do it. All right, yeah, we're back. Yeah, did a bunch of damage. Plague monks went in, smashed into every warden they could see in the path. We were chatting about it. I thought for sure just on the charge they're +1 attacks with 3 attacks each. They're absolutely insane. Reroll ones to hit. I thought I was going to clear them, but so then the huge though is that the 6 or 7 that were remaining did flee to battle shock.
Yeah.
Because like we were talking, you could have retreated onto my point.
Yeah, I had 8 left, so if I had 2 remain,
Yeah.
I would have, with priority, I would have been able to take your bat objective, which could have potentially...
Good bin game. Yeah, it would have been huge. But like I said, I thought I should have... in my head, the Plague Monks do so much damage that I'm like, I will definitely be able to delete both of these. But yeah, you made some good saves with this
I popped an Aether Quartz, and then I was re-rolling ones from the battalion. So it's somewhat defensive, but again, not locking down that unit.
Yeah.
You can see Lumineth has a lot of tools. They're really, big toolbox army, but if 1 or 2 of the supports start to go, they're a house of cards.
They can, yeah. And it was nice here, so I was actually able to, with the bell, I rolled a 6, so it was mortal wounds on a 4-up, which I rolled the 4-ups again, so I killed him with that, thank God. That was one of the things I was talking about, and then I could teleport these guys through. But as we know, without more and more warp power, the Storm Fiends just, especially with shooting into Shining Company, it's rough, because they hit on 4s usually, and just me being the bonehead and using the upcharge Doom Rocket, I couldn't give them the Vigor Dust Injector, so, it's a few just small, dumb things that I've done, but, Skaven, so I like to have fun.
Blame it on the rats.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think it's really big that they fled, because that takes a lot of pressure off, because if I had had, again, 2 guys there, priority, I would score all 4 objectives. If I won priority.
You could retreat, because they would
retreat 2 onto there. These guys just walk on. So
and
just
that's what
that extra turn of scoring would be huge, right? But that's why you want it to deny me scoring.
Exactly, and that's why I thought I put all 6d6 shots into these guys.
You rolled real well.
Thinking, I rolled 20 something, 3 6s and a 5, something high.
But then hitting on 5s because of the Shining.
Hitting on 5s outside for reroll 1s. Already burned my Triumph, so it was like if I would have kept that would have been able to deal with them. Because I know this looks like nothing, but just walking on is getting you 3 or 2 more points.
Yep. You do score 4 here.
Yeah.
So you're getting decent points, but the fact that, we're fighting for a point on your side, so you're getting 1 to 2, I'm getting 2 to 3.
Yeah. I need to get into your objectives, which is obviously why if I
you will need to come back and win, which
absolutely
obviously not impossible looking at the board state. But I think we can just roll priority.
I'll just roll my 6 now, and then I'll just take the turn.
That's a 3. You literally.
You betcha! Yeah.
Cool. So we'll go into Skaven turn 3 of the round.
Let's go. All right, this is turned into be quite the game. I cannot believe I couldn't kill the Lord Reagent, or the, what's he called? The Lord...
Lore Seeker.
The Lore Seeker. My gosh. I was able to, there is a 6-inch charge. I moved them up. I gave +1 from the CP, +1 on their War Scroll, so I needed a 6. I rolled an 8.
You needed it was an 8-inch charge.
8-inch charge, so I
Yes.
needed to roll a 6.
Yeah.
I rolled an 8, so it was so I made it to 10.
Which just meant a lot more bodies.
More bodies, so I put as much as I possibly could into him. And the whole part of this battle has been Jordan on 3s rolling 1s to save, because they don't have rend, so it's like against things with a 4-up save that can use the penny or get +1 save, you know, in other ways. So it was, what, how many? 16 times 3, so it was 48 attacks, and however many I put through, you rolled two twos of all.
Well, you ended up doing 5 damage to the Lore Seeker, but then he passed 4 of them off.
Yeah.
So he only took 1. Obviously, the pass-offs finished off the Blade Lords.
Yes.
But it means he stays there alive, holding the objective.
Because of his stupid rule, which is amazing, but I knew that rule was there, but I really thought I was going to
you
kill
have
him.
to do it. You have to go for it.
I
but-
couldn't go here, so the only other play I had here was go into here and charge into there. And now, honestly, looking back, it's like that could have possibly been the better play. I just, in my head, I'm just like, I need to kill him and get that point because I'm down so many points that's what, I thought needed to happen. But I couldn't kill him.
You score 3 points here.
Yeah, I'm going to hold this. I got a hero on here, hero on there.
Oh, so you
did
did 4 then.
Yeah.
I forgot about the Claw Lord. So, let's do it.
It's interesting.
Going
either
into
way.
bottom of round 3, Lumineth turn 3. All right, so Lumineth turn 3. Man, there's a lot dead for only being turn 3. Here, obviously, needed to take out the Plague Monks, secure this objective, knowing you were going to be doing 6s back when they died as mortals.
Yep.
I tried to move the Balewind to get protection of Hish on basically my whole army with the Cathlar, but you unbound it by 1. So you unbound that, but I did get Darkness of the Soul off, which
didn't end up mattering.
yeah.
I guess I didn't roll for those 2 that attack. They didn't do anything.
So it wouldn't have mattered. Obviously, shot everything at the Plague Monks. Sitting on both my objectives, I score 4 points here. So I was ahead by 1. So I'm ahead by 5 now.
Yep.
Going into priority.
I think the only shot I have here, if we're going to do anything, is if I'm able to get turn, move the Storm Fiends up here, shoot off them, charge to here, and then somehow
get bodies on.
I need a huge charge and
but
multiple
it's
things.
possible still.
There's
so
still
let's
a small possibility though.
Jump into priority.
Yep. So I'm not going to roll a 6 here. I'm going to roll a 3.
Okay. Well, that's a 1.
I also rolled a 1.
So you keep it because you win ties. So yeah, you're going to get it. We'll be going into top of round 4 with Skaven going first.
All right, so I had a couple things still to do, which started out well. In the middle of my turn, I realized obviously I can teleport the Clawlord over there, make a charge, and he could save the day. The other play here was to move these guys up 6. I think I needed, an 8 to charge?
Yeah.
I gave them +1 to charge from the...
You need a 9.
I needed a 9, that's right. So I gave him +1 from the realm we're in, and I teleported him over there. I did his roll first, and I rolled an 11.
Yeah.
So that could have been here, whatever. Alternate universes. Yeah. He got in there, so I was like, last-ditch effort. These Plague Monks have been bouncing off this guy. Like, come on, Clawlord, just kill him. And yeah, he failed him.
Yeah. Again, I'm +1 save from being off, lone agent, and then I did reroll 1 command point just to be safe.
As you should, for sure. And I spent my CP, so I couldn't, So it was just one of those, like, last-ditch efforts. The Clawlord could save the day. Not last-ditch, but...
well, it's coming down to it.
It is,
it's tough.
It would have been huge to score either, them making that huge charge or them, but it not working out. I needed, if I could have got 3 points here for like 3 different.
Yeah, well, 3 extra points for this one. You do score 3 for the 2 you hold.
Exactly. Yeah. Still interesting though. A lot of plays. It's been a fun game, so it's
coming right down to it, and we'll just jump right into bottom of round 4. Lumineth turn 4.
Yeah.
All right, so round 4, bottom of the turn. Pretty much just moved these Sentinels up, so I had 3 bodies on the objective, just in case somehow my Lore Seeker died. The Clawlord couldn't take it by himself, but between an Arcane Bolt for 3, and then all the shooting, I did manage to take him off before combat, meaning I remain in control of this one for 2. I still have a hero over here for 2, so I'm scoring 4, which puts me ahead 6. For you to have come back, you would have had to score all of these. So you'd have to win priority and score all of them, which you now can't do
with
because the Clawlord.
Yeah, there were a few things that needed to happen last turn.
That was kind of, in hindsight, the last ditch kind of effort. Man, wild game though.
It always is with Skaven. It's like, look, it's just so many small things that like there was no need for me to completely suicide my brand newly painted Bombardier, but I want to do that with Skaven, but you're always still kind of in the game, and there's always a few plays to do. The Gnawhole cheeky play at the end, that could always be, but there was a few just things that needed to happen right last turn that just didn't happen.
Yeah, but in the end, Lore Seeker MVP in this game for sure.
I hate that he's in the
just,
new.
Tanking.
I might hate him more than Teclis now, just for how much he did in this game alone.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, you can see why something like the Sanctum endless spell that just makes him even more defensive would be great.
I've seen that, already on TTS.
Blade Lords are interesting. It's a trade-off though. That +1 to save sure is nice, but I mean the bounce off wounds is probably more impactful. So even having both of those things.
Being able to do what you did though is it put them on the line. You're going to go first. Being able to put him there and then run your Blade Lords up for his as his kind of guard. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think I again should have been a little more defensive.
Yeah.
Stay outside of your threat ranges, so even if you teleport those guys, you're not shooting anything turn 1.
Yeah.
And then give away the double in an inopportune time where sure you're getting your first turn of getting into me.
Yeah. No, like I said before, I think definitely the play would have been to just stay back. You have 2 ballistas and 30 sentinels. So if you just kind of screened with your wardens or just had them to get in the way and then just kept peppering me, because of my play with the Storm Fiends, I wasn't able to do the shooting damage. I had more of a melee.
And by the time you finally get into the wardens, especially Darkness of the Soul still potentially locking you down.
Yeah.
There would be -1 to hit in Shining Company still. So
man, Lumineth is is good. There's so many different spells, and like we were saying, I guess it's to the mid tier. They really do well
they
against.
dominate the mid tier. Yeah.
Comparative to Fang, Zinch, LRL. Well,
but well, I mean, it's tougher for everyone, right? But
yeah.
it's Lumineth. I don't think is quite in that top round of armies now. Lore Seeker being was great here, no doubt. But there are so many missions. Like think of Blade's Edge. So many missions where the territories are full half.
Mm-hmm.
He has to go down in your zone.
Yeah.
Or you end up having to deploy him in your own territory. So not great. He was great here in this game, but I'm not super sold on him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's an auto include like a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah.
And then just a couple things that I just want to mention about having played this army now. First, wanted to kind of do a sampler of getting a bunch of the new stuff in. Banner Blade is he's a hero.
Yeah,
So
he is what he is.
He's a hero. If you want a battlefield hero,
Yeah.
he's cheaper than other heroes.
Yeah, he's your guy.
Yeah. If you want someone to just sit in the back and use command points or sit in the terrain piece.
So good.
But you can do that with the Cathlar. But in this case, I want Cathlar and the Balewind. So.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's cute. It's okay. Not necessarily the optimal pick. And then the Ballista. I've played them a couple times now, and they're super swingy. We saw one turn one did 9 damage. The rest of the game, they probably didn't do 9 combined the rest of the game.
Yeah, they missed a lot later on.
So very swingy. And then just to wrap things up, we'll talk about secondaries real quick. I think I would store Defender here unless you're not getting wholly within my territory, I don't think.
No, you have more units anyways.
Well, you have to have none though. So want to roll a charge real quick because we know it's going to be an 11.
Yeah, it'd be 6, and then I would have to roll.
Yeah. So
no.
So I would get Defender. But I would not get Seized Ground at the end of round 4. I wasn't here, obviously.
Yep.
You were, so you get your Seized Ground.
Yep, and then I would fail because I didn't get my Overwhelm.
Kill a hero with Battle Line.
Yeah. So
I still have
18-2.
Almost your clan rats had a chance to finish him off.
Yeah, the guy with 1 wound. I know. Yeah, they could have.
Yeah, but was not to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be it for today. Skaven really, clawing back in and bringing this one down to the wire. Had a couple late game chances, and I mean, you killed a lot, that's for sure.
Yep.
It's a much emptier battlefield.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but win here for Lumineth, obviously, strong toolbox army. So in this case, you just managed to do what they need to, and really, like you said, Lore Seeker won the game, put the team on his shoulders and carried us all. So great performance for him. But that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle report. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Also, if you did make predictions in the comment, go loop back and rate your own predictions. But
prediction of the engineer doing 11 mortal wounds to himself. If someone said that, then they win.
Awesome. Well, that'll be it for today, Ridge. Great game. We'll see you guys soon in another battle report.